thank you so much for joining us on Woman to Woman. This place will talk all things related to women, their health, their career, their emotional life, everything women with what we handle here on the show. I'm going to be your host on today's edition, and I'm Daisy Leo Asikidi. And today on the show, we're asking a question, and that question is: should women prioritize love over stability when they want to marry? Love over stability or stability over love, which do you think is the most important? If you're a woman out there and you want to teach your daughters in this 21st century what to look out for, is it going to be love you tell them to focus their gaze on, or a man who can give them some form of financial stability? So on the show today, I have Chidima Zege with me, and together we're going to be talking about this. She's a woman, unmarried, and I say I need to know our own thoughts on this so that we'll start knowing how we're going to get the husband for you. All right. Good afternoon. Such a delight to have you here today.
Thank you very much.
But let's start with what do you call personally, what's stability to you? Because what it means to you might be different from what it means to me. So
Okay, I feel like stability in terms of marriage or in terms of partnership is like having somebody that is there to provide, is there to love, is there to cherish, is there to take you through. Because I feel like partnership between two people, it's like, even me, I'm handling it my life alone, it's just me, and I still find it difficult. So having somebody who is willing and ready to go walk through the life process with you, and then is going to like relieve you of certain burden. I feel like that's what stability
is. So in all of this, relieving of burden, I know time is needed, but is money a top criteria for that
Yes.
stability?
Yes, when it comes to marriage, being financially buoyant, because when you talk about marriage, it's not just me and you. We are bringing in children into the world. And then bringing in children determines that we have to spend more money. We're not just talking about ourselves. We're talking about training children, catering for them, and so on.
It's a lot.
Educational-wise, material-wise, health-wise.
Okay. So, but you personally, what would you rather choose for yourself? Or if you have maybe a younger sister or a lady approaches you now and says, I want to marry, I'm confused. There are two men in the picture, they're both wonderful. One really loves me, is so sweet, calls me non-stop, sends messages, bought me a rose for Valentine, and the other has a car, offered to take me to Dubai next month and all that. So what would you choose? What would you advise the person to do? If you also end up in that person's shoes, what would you rather? Is it the love, the one who shows you more attention, or the one who spends the most?
I would choose stability. I would choose the one, even if I'm going for, I feel like everything has to be characterized. Like somebody that is stable, I'll still look out for other
Positive traits,
attributes, But I feel like I think stability is just the best. I feel like going for that stable one, that one that will be able to cater for you. And I also believe that you can still grow in love. You might enter the relationship with the person or the marriage with the person, and then with time, you will grow to love the person, and you go to love the way the person is. It's not about, I don't feel it's just about now. And then also that person, okay, the person that has the cars, has the flashy things, I feel like there are also certain criteria that you should also look at, not just about him being stable, if he's a good person, number one, if he's willing to like show you love, if he's not physically and emotionally abusive, you should also look out for that. But for me, when it comes to love and stability, I will always go for stability, because I feel like that is the best choice. Because that choice, you're not only making it for yourself, but you are making it for the future and the children you are bringing into the world.
Interesting. But do you really think a partner, let's say you're in a relationship now, the woman prioritizes money, stability, and the man would rather love. prioritizes love. Money is not
Yeah.
an issue at all. I don't want to talk money. I just want to be loved. Do you think a relationship like that can work?
No. At
Really?
some point, it supersedes the love. If you are just bringing love, 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 love into the table, then are we going to feed on love? Are we going to train our kids on love? Are we going to survive on love? Not everything. Love is important, I agree. Love should be an attribute, I agree. But not everything should be about love.
Oh, wow.
Your finance is also important. The way you contribute is also important. You can't just sit at home and, oh, you don't have enough money, you want to get into marriage with me, and then you are not financially buoyant. You just believe in the fact that we love each other, we'll survive. It doesn't work. Life doesn't work like that. You have to prepare ahead. You have to have a plan. You have to consider. Consideration is just very, very important because it's not just me and you. I feel like if I am in a relationship with someone, like I'm about to get married, and I see that you struggle to take care of both of us, I will not even want to proceed into marriage because in marriage, it's not just both of us anymore. There are other responsibilities. We have children to take care of. We have, even family self is still there because there's no way, probably your parents might need an assistance or so on and so forth. You might want to lend a helping hand to them. So it's not all about love.
Interesting. Okay, I'm just wondering how, yeah, this particular generation where we're talking about equal rights,
Yes.
women are just like men, and every woman is claiming to be an independent woman.
Yes.
I take care of myself, I need nobody, and all that. So at the same time, you hear this large number of people saying that women are independent now.
Yeah.
And you still see the same set of people shouting independence, saying they want to be pampered and cared for. Is it that women are confused, or what's going on? What is it that
Being
women really want?
independent, I feel being independent, let me just use myself for an example. I feel being independent is not like, you being independent does not mean you don't want your man's money. I might have money. Let me set myself as an example. I might have money to do something, but I want that my man. I feel like man's money is more sweeter. And then again, and then again, it's me being an independent woman does not mean I want to settle for a man I earn more than. I don't want a man. I want him to earn more than me because men are big on respect. They feel like, oh, as a woman, if you are earning more, there's no respect. And me, I feel personally, I feel like if I'm earning more than a man, I will not really see that impact. Like I will not feel him imparting in my life. Like that vibes will not be there. So I feel like a man should earn more than his woman. That's just the best. I feel like that's just the best to avoid issues of she saying, oh, I paid for this, I did this, you didn't do this, you didn't do that. And let's be frank, men, they are the sole providers. In nature, men are meant to be the providers. So I feel like you should just leave that role for them. Your man provided does not mean you will not do anything, or you will not have a handwork, or you will not be independent, or you will not work. I will work, but I want you also to earn too.
Is that not why most men, they get married now, they just tell the women sit at home? Since that way, at least, whatever I earn, even if it's 20K, it will still be bigger than you just sitting at home. Won't that make most men begin to say women should not work after they've gotten married?
No, I don't believe in being idle. I don't believe in solely putting your responsibility. I feel like women, your man should have more than you, but you should have your own money. I feel it's all about understanding. Before getting married, you should communicate that, my dear, I want to work, I want to be able to earn money, even if it's not something as big as what you are doing. As far as it's fetching me little money, and then again, I might have the fact that you are provided doesn't mean I will not settle little bills in the house. I should be able to still contribute, but you will be the sole contributor.
Your own is just to be a helper,
yes,
like the Bible said.
I will assist you in certain things, but not that we will practically be doing every day. Any little expenses in the house, I should be able to provide and help. But I don't I don't agree with people being housewives. But it's a personal choice, Sha.
Yeah.
It's a personal. It depends on the person. So people love being housewives. So
You
people love
do.
to actually sit at home. But I feel like as a woman, you should still have something to do because you don't know the situation. You don't know what the future holds.
Wonderful. All right, of course, this is women to women. Should women marry for love or for stability? We're going to go on a break on the show. We'll be back shortly. So, should a woman marry for love or stability is what we're talking about in woman to woman. And when we talk about stability, our main focus is financial stability, though. And I have Chidima in the studio with me, and we're talking about it. And she feels stability should supersede love. It's more important than love because love can change at any time. But stability is very, very vital because it covers a lot. It's not about you in marriage, it's about the children as well. I get that. But I'm just wondering, Chidima, based on what you feel is more important, do you think stability, security, financial security, and this stability can provide that emotional need, can fill up the emotional vacuum, can help a woman when she needs emotional support in relationship? Because when that time comes,
Yes.
what happens?
We as women, we are soft, and emotional love and care is very, very important. So personally, I feel like during the stages before getting married to that person, I feel like you should still look into the fact that if the person is, I feel like before you even get into that marriage point, you should still also checkmate the person. I believe it's not all about stability, but I feel like stability is important, but that emotional care, you should still look if that person still has that soft mind. I won't advise somebody to get married to somebody that doesn't even show the love or affection, even if it's not all the time. But once in a while, you should still show your partner that I love you, I care for you, even if I'm busy trying to make the finance for our family and all. But once you should still show that love and care. But I don't concur to the fact that you just get married to somebody that doesn't even show you any form of affection or love. Even if the person is even showing you little affection and love, but you are not there yet yourself, you can at least go into the marriage. I feel like you grow in love. Love is something that you can grow in. It might not be instant like some people's own that they say, oh, love at first sight. I just met this person, I fell in love. But I also believe that once you just go into the marriage and you know that the person loves you, be very, very sure that the person loves you, and then you go into the marriage, I feel like you will still grow in love.
Money grows too.
Yeah, because when the person there's no way somebody is loving you, even if it's not all the time, even if it's not that expressive, but sometimes it shows that he loves you and he feels it. And then he's taking care of you, doing right by you, providing for you. There's no way, there's nobody that will say, oh, you won't grow in love. You will definitely learn to love the person.
Interesting. Okay, if you say so. Hey, Gert, don't you think there's some shortcomings in picking very rich men? Let's say, oh, let me remove the very. Recently there's a story that's trending online of a Nigerian that's a very young, beautiful girl that married a very rich old man, and I've never really been one to talk so much about her marriage because she married as an adult and her choices are hers. So people said she picked stability, financial security over love, and she had someone she loved before. Now the girl goes extra mile to show to people on social media that she's happy and she loves her partner. Now she has run away from social media because her husband, who is supposedly very loving to her, is rumored that he has impregnated another star. And the star is not confirmed though, but the rumors are everywhere. And her action of leaving social media is almost seeming like a corroboration of the stories. So don't you think that there are some downsides in marrying a man who is already established?
Yes. That's why I always say before you enter the relationship or get involved with the person, you should know. But I will not also be too sure because people do change. At the beginning, it might be soft. At the beginning, it might be
perfect.
Okay, but during the whole process of everything, as time goes on, maybe the person can change. But I still believe that with God, let me just put it, with God and prayers and all. But for that part, that story you just said, I feel like it's not for the lady. It's expected because you're not the first, you're not the second, you're not the third, you're not the fourth. So I feel like she should already have been mentally prepared and emotionally prepared because she knew that she came in and she met somebody there. So obviously, or peradventure, somebody can still meet you there. So for that aspect, I didn't really feel like it was a shock to her. It would be different if she was the first and there was nobody there. That's one thing about people that are established though. They feel like they are buoyant enough to be polygamous in nature. But I still also believe that it's where you should know your limits and you should know your stand. If you feel like, or you being with somebody for stability and you feel, or you didn't expect the person to get married, or you just started a relationship and then the marriage, and then all of a sudden it's bringing another girl into the picture. If you feel you can't cope, just leave, Vico. Just leave. Because you were there, obviously, before you get married to that person, you wanted the stability. Then, peradventure, you grew in love with the person because of the stability. But if you feel like you are not willing to share or you can't share that person, you leave because nobody is cut out for emotional stress.
Interesting.
So I just feel like if you find yourself in that situation, if you feel you can't cope,
Do what makes you happy the most.
Exactly.
Okay. Or maybe those that are just marrying for this financial stability in quotes. Once you get into the marriage and the man is already showing small sign that if it's not add on top, just quickly gather. I'm not advising people bad advice. No. But are they really young people, young boys that are very financially stable, that are not involved in some sort of crime? How many of them? Because from the way I see it, the really financially stable people are quite mature. They are men that are married with wives that the wives helped and supported to build them. So if we're going to start putting this stability, because I need to understand how stable should this stability be on a finer note. So should it be like twice whatever the woman earns? If I'm earning $1 million as a woman, I work in some oil and gas firm, I should be aiming for a man who earns like 1.5. Are there many like that? Because that will mean I have to look within my circle of oil and gas as well, and or look at some persons in tech or who has their own business. Or if I'm earning 200,000, I should be looking for a man who earns 800, because if the man is earning 200 or 250, 200 plus 250, nothing will go anywhere for this Nigeria economy. So how stable is there a figure? Would you want to put a figure to it?
I don't feel like there's a figure there, because not only, you don't always look at the now, what he has now, you also look for potentials, like see through the man potential. He might be having some kind of business or plans to do something that has not worked out for him yet. Let me use my parents for example. When my mom first met my dad, he was not that financially buoyant. He was still trying to but he was not, I won't say he was poor, because he was able to provide the basic needs. But with time, money grew, business grew, he had other investments. So I don't feel like you should actually put a figure. As far as he's able to take care of you, and then you see potentials there, and then you know that, okay, with time, this person will be able to provide more and do more. Why not? Women, we are meant to support. We are meant to grow with our man. We are meant to add to his life. So I feel like with time, everything. I'm not even saying stability is not even about somebody being so rich. It's about somebody being able to give you the basic need and all, so on and so forth. Being maybe basic need, emotional support, financial support. It's somebody that is willing to stay with you. Like you're right, relationship, marriage is all about teamwork. It's not just about you. It's you and somebody that is always willing to support you no matter what. So I feel like with time, don't just look at for, you must be so rich. As far as he's able to provide for your basic need, and then you see potentials in him that moving forward you will progress, and then you are willing to also help him, then you are good to go. All
right, before your final words to women out there that are watching, I will ask this one. I know you're Igbo. As an Igbo woman, we believe, a lot of people in Nigeria believe that Igbo prioritize money above all. Do you think as a learned, a trained, educated Igbo woman, you would settle for an unschooled Igbo man if he is very successful? Can you do that?
I feel like it
Personally,
depends.
personally.
Personally, okay, let me just, for myself, it depends on how some people are educated and they act differently. We always say, oh, when in a situation, when you find yourself in a certain situation, you'll be like, oh, because he did not go to school. So it depends on his level of education. It depends on his, will I say sense? Because, because some people might be uneducated, but still behaves well, still treats their woman right, still does things in the right way. And then some people might be uneducated and still act, will I say, foolish.
You are a typical Igbo woman.
So it depends. It depends on my heart. It depends on the attribute of that person. Yeah, it depends on what I want from that person. So it just totally depends. And if he gives me all the clicks in all the areas, like his love, his intelligence, his level of commitment, why not? Education is not everything.
Oh my God. Now that's really spoken like an Igbo woman. I like it though. I like it though. All right, so on the final note, before we go in a few seconds, just your words to women who are thinking of settling down on this topic.
Okay. For all women out there, they are thinking of settling down with their partner. I feel like basically, don't just look for only disability. Look for other aspects or other attributes that clicks to the kind of person you have. What you can take is not what other people can take. So you should have your own attributes set aside that, oh, this is what I want in my partner. This is what, it's not just all about money. And also, learn to still earn your own. Don't totally depend on a man.
Interesting. Thank you so much, Chidima. Financial independence is very key for women. I'm an advocate for it. But I think it is abnormal for a woman to be a provider. It doesn't mean some women don't provide, but it just becomes a lot more difficult to do something you're not made naturally to do. Imagine me as a journalist being told to perform a surgery on someone. I might eventually succeed if I have guidance, but it's going to be a lot more difficult for me to do than a doctor in fact, someone in medical school. Not even a surgeon now. It will be easier because this is their own habitat. This is their thing. They're already learning. Then when you now just give a surgeon proper with experience, oh, it's touch and go. Before you blink, they're done. So it's not really easy for a woman to take a responsibility that is not naturally meant for her to handle. So if you're marrying for love, it's very good. Love is beautiful. You will enjoy it, but love does not last forever. Emotions change when challenges come. That feeling of love is usually the first to disappear. And stability, that's what I call stable, is different from what the next person calls stable. I'm thinking a man who has his own house and a car is stable enough and can buy food and pay fees for school is stable enough. Another person is saying he needs to have a car. I will have a car. He would have a house and build one also in my name and include vacations once every year in the package, and that is stable. Another person is just saying, a man who can open business for me, let me just have one caravan, is stable enough. So please do you and do what works for you. That's what we're saying. All right, I'm Daisy Leah Sakiti. Thanks so much for your time. Have a nice day.